Tonight, I Spy Delta Chi. We're speaking with one fraternity about their philanthropy for the V Foundation.
Then, find out how archaeologists are using mussel shells as time capsules to study the past in our continuation of our Cooper's Ferry Investigative Series.
Finally, we're speaking with OSU Geo Club President Mackenzie Smith about Geo Club's recent trip to Costa Rica. We'll have all that and more on tonight's episode of the Beaver News.
Good evening and welcome to your Wednesday night edition of the Beaver News. I'm Sara Boraston.
And I'm Olivia Gonzales. We're glad you could join us this evening.
Today, weather was absolutely fantastic. If you managed to make it out to the quad today, you might have spied blooming flowers, sandals, flip-flops, and you may have even spied a Delta Chi. All this week, members of the fraternity Delta Chi have been hosting their spring philanthropy, I Spy a Delta Chi. Today, the Beaver News spoke with Representative Juan Villegas for a look at what this philanthropy is all about.
Yes, my house is checking in.
The reason we're out here in the quad is to promote awareness for cancer. We have coin jars out here for each fraternity and sorority that's participating to come and make donations. For us, for our philanthropy, every shirt signature is worth 1 point for their house. They just write their first name and their house letters. And at the end of the week, we tally them all up through all the shirts, and the shirt signatures are worth a specific percentage of the whole philanthropy.
It's a really easy way to support their philanthropy because we can just run around, see them on campus, and sign their shirts, and it's really an easy way for all of us to get involved.
How many signatures do you think you have on your shirt?
I have quite a bit. I'd probably say well over 300. So I'm looking forward to counting it tomorrow night.
So what does that mean for sororities?
It means somebody's going to get a lot of points for their sorority.
Juan told us that tomorrow will be their final day in the quad, and that so far the group estimated that they have raised over $1,000 during this week.
It's that time of year again when mothers and family members from all over come to visit for a fun-filled weekend. If you don't have any activities planned for your mother, fear not. Oregon State MUPC is offering a wide variety of activities ranging from a breakfast at the MU, yoga classes at Bald Hill, pottery painting and screen printing with the Craft Center, and even a comedy show at LaSalle Stewart Center. Time to show your mom how fun Corvallis can be, but be sure to remind her to be home by midnight.
Trying to find something fun to do with your mom in the upcoming Mom's Weekend? Well, look no more, because OSU is finding great ways to get you and your mom outdoors. On Saturday, May 4th, Dixon Recreation Center will hold a ropes course event, which will include plenty of games and trust activities available at your comfort level. This weekend's rope course event is only $15 for OSU students and family members and is located on the west side of campus at the end of Jefferson Way and 35th Street. The adventure will be starting at 9 a.m. and go through 12 p.m.
Sing is back. The annual All-University Sing performance is this Friday. This year's theme, Dancing Through the Decades, will feature songs from Madonna, Earth, Wind & Fire, NSYNC, and many more. Sing has been a 75-year tradition here at Oregon State where fraternities, sororities, and other university students can showcase their musical abilities through a song and dance. A panel of judges from OSU's music department and additionally head coordinator of Greek Life, Bob Kerr, will judge each performance. Tickets can be purchased at the doors of Gill Coliseum for $25. The doors open at 6 p.m. and the performance is expected to go from 7 to 10 p.m.
Does your mom need a place to work out during her time in Corvallis this weekend? This weekend, Dixon Recreational Center will give free access to family members when they come with any student who has a valid OSU student ID. This will give students an opportunity to show their moms around the facilities available to students here at Oregon State. Also, if you are a student who has a Fit Pass membership, your family member will also get free access to those Fit Class passes this weekend. To view the full Fit Pass schedule, you can research the recreational sports schedule on the OSU website.
Interested in being serenaded by 15 talented OSU men? Well, Oregon State's all-men a cappella group, Unspoken, is holding their annual Mom's Weekend performance. This Saturday in Milam Hall, Outspoken is holding 2 shows for you and your mom. Outspoken's repertoire includes songs from all genres and gives each their own personal touch. 2 music majors founded this group in 2002, and the group has been successful ever since, having produced songs with record labels and performing in public and private shows on and off campus. Doors open at 3 p.m. for the 3:30 show and 6:30 p.m. for the 7 o'clock show. You can purchase tickets at the door, $7 for OSU students and $10 for the general public.
Life as a college student sometimes makes it pretty difficult to own a pet. For those of you who miss that love and affection you get from those furry, scaly, or even feathery friends, OSU School of Veterinary Medicine might just have the solution for you. This Saturday, Oregon State School of Veterinary Medicine will be hosting their annual event, Oregon State's Pet Day, at Magruder Hall, located on 30th and Washington. The event will be going all day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a variety of activities like a pet costume contest, frisbee dog contest, and agility training, cat photo contest, and a 5K fun run. There will also be lots of booths set up with information on pet health and nutrition, and even a petting zoo available as well. The event is open to the public, but remember to keep your canine pets on a leash.
While we're on the topic of pets, let's talk about the Heartland Humane Society. Many students who came to college thinking that they can handle having a pet in their home or apartment, but many times it just doesn't work out. If you find that you can't handle a furry friend inside your home, or you're looking to adopt a new member of your family, the Heartland Humane Society may have the answer for you. Beaver News reporter Sam Popoff has the report.
This is Elephant Ears, and he is currently looking for a home. The Heartland Humane Society is hoping that students looking to adopt will come here first, even if the students are not sure they can keep the animal long term.
We try really hard to counsel people on maybe being foster parents, if they're students, so they can short-term care for the animals here, but not have the lifelong commitment of, taking care of them their whole lives.
Helga here is one of the many abandoned cats that is looking for a home as well. And with kitten season approaching, cage space will be sparse.
We're on the verge of kitten season. We got in our first litter of kittens maybe about 3 weeks ago, and they were about 6 weeks old, and they just came in, got spayed and neutered, and were adopted all very quickly yesterday.
During their stay at the shelter, all the animals are given plenty of love and attention until someone gives them a home. If you are ever in a position where you can't take care of your pet, the Humane Society urges you to bring them in and to remember that animal abandonment is against the law. This is Sam Popoff for Beaver News.
Want to immerse yourself in some of the cultures we have here on campus? This Sunday, May 5th, is the ISU Spring Festival. This event will be full of fun games and activities and free food from the different cultural booths. Students as well as professional performers will be putting on a show for the guests. The festival will be hosted in the MU Quad from 12 to 4 p.m. This is a great way for students to learn about the cultures of the Americas, Middle East, Africa, and Asia while enjoying the nice weather here on campus.
Shasta is just around the corner, and for those of you who are going, it can be a fun-filled weekend, but it can also be a dangerous one. Last week, Panhellenic and Interfraternity Council presented a sun and boat safety presentation at the Linus Pauling Center. Though neither organization condones students going to Shasta, they want to make sure those who do participate are informed with vital safety information. In case you missed it, here are some important tips suggested by Panhellenic and IFC to identify heat exhaustion. Signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion include confusion, dizziness, fainting, fatigue, headache, and nausea. If you show symptoms of heat exhaustion, be sure to first get out of the sun. Drink water in small amounts and apply a wet washcloth to skin. If symptoms don't improve after 30 minutes, seek medical attention.
If you are a new member to OSU's Pistol Club or are thinking of becoming involved, this Sunday the Pistol Club is holding its mandatory orientation and safety training event. This training begins at 6 p.m. and lasts until 9 p.m. at the indoor shooting range on campus, located on the southeast corner of McAlexander Fieldhouse. The safety training orientation costs $5 for students, plus the cost of ammunition.
Last week we had a poker night. This week, Delta Gamma, Kappa Alpha Theta, and Sigma Phi Epsilon are continuing to support the American Cancer Society with a cleaner way of raising money. In light of Mom's Weekend, the trio is hosting a car wash on Sunday, May 5th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. outside of Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity. Interested in getting your car washed? Prices include $5 for small cars, $8 for medium cars, and $10 for larger cars.
Last night, we showed you how archaeologists clean up an excavation site and close it for the season. Tonight, we are continuing our investigative series produced by Beaver News reporter Hayden Wilcox. Over the summer, Hayden was able to travel with Associate Professor of Anthropology, Dr. Lauren Davis, for an inside look at what it means to be an archaeologist. Tonight, Hayden will be showing us what happens to the evidence back at the lab. This report was supported by OSU and the Bureau of Land Management.
Being an archaeologist takes muscle. Muscle shells, that is. Discarded shell fragments from prehistoric lunch proved to be useful in determining what life was like when the mussel was alive.
They can tell us about the environment at this time, about the aridity, the precipitation through stable isotope analysis.
And with a quick swim in the river, anyone can find descendants of these mussels still today. The trick is finding the ones that are over 10,000 years old. Specimens are taken to the lab at OSU where sophisticated technology like this repurposed dental drill carve out clues about prehistoric environments.
In an indirect way, we measure things like rainfall. We can measure that by looking at the shell geochemistry, because these little guys are pulling these elements out of the water and recording it for us in the past. They do this by pulling elements out of the water as it passes over them. And the elements and their isotopic composition in the water is determined by things like climatic change.
Mussel shell research is new to the world of archaeology, but Dr. Davis believes that these shells hold the key to discovering what life was like in the past.
When we get enough of these shells from archaeological sites, we can begin to build a series of snapshots about climate.
Sometimes a mussel shell can live up to be 200 years in the river. That's over 200 years of recorded data. It's truly amazing how much data these creatures can shell out. This is Hayden Wilcox for the Beaver News.
And as Hayden mentioned before, Dr. Davis's research is brand new to the field of archaeology, which just goes to demonstrate Beaver ingenuity. Tune in Monday night for our fall installment of the Cooper's Ferry series as Hayden shows us how physical artifacts become digital blueprints for teaching tools. Well, Idaho may be just as hot, but it's definitely not as far away as Costa Rica, which is where OSU's Geo Club was able to travel to over spring break this year. Members of the Geo Club spent 17 days in Costa Rica studying rock formations, compositions, as well as experiencing the local culture. Tonight, we have Geo Club President Mackenzie Smith with us at the desk to talk to us about his experience on the trip. Mackenzie, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So, what is Geo Club exactly?
Geo Club is an academic club on campus that specializes in the education in geosciences, which include things like geography, geology, and earth sciences. We meet in room 207 at Wilkinson Hall on Tuesdays at 5:30, and we're open to all majors. We typically do things like small weekend field trips out to places like Mary's Peak, and then occasionally we also have larger trips like the Costa Rica trip.
Can you explain what you did during your trip?
Sure, we did a lot of stuff. We looked at different seafloor sediments. We looked at various coastal processes. We got to watch a volcano, Mount Turrialba, degas, and we saw lots of different things. We saw a lot of biodiversity down there. We went to an archaeological site down there, and we also dug up some fossils.
That's awesome. So what was your favorite part about the trip?
As a paleontologist, my favorite part was definitely the fossil digging. We went to a locality on kind of like the central coast of Costa Rica. It's about 15 million years old, and it has a lot of fossil clams and fossil, there are a few fossil shark's teeth, fossil snails, and a lot of it is different than what we have in Oregon from the similar time, but there were also some striking similarities between the two assemblages.
Interesting.
Yeah.